This morning, this piece of news popped up on my radar. This headline from the Associated Press reads, Supreme Court backs Utah Oil Railroad expansion and scales back a key environmental law. But what exactly happened? What does this mean? And how is this going to impact environmental protections in the future? In a unanimous decision, the Supreme Court of the United States decided to reverse a decision from a lower court and decide that this railroad expansion can in fact move forward without certain environmental reviews. Reviews that would include things like some long-term environmental impacts of this particular railroad and some what if questions. Now, I'm not surprised of the overall decision, but I am a little surprised that it was a unanimous decision. So our Supreme Court right now is heavily conservative, with some justices that have been appointed by Donald Trump in his last term. So it's not surprising to me at all that they would vote in favor of the oil industry in this case and against the environmental protection here, especially considering that the fossil fuel industry, oil being part of it, is one of the big key components of this particular administration. It does surprise me a little bit that the liberal judges voted for this particular decision, though, but their reasoning was that these long-term impacts, some of them shouldn't be taken into account when making decisions like this. And as someone who is for environmental protection, that honestly really bums me out, because this decision just set a precedence and really weakened the National Environmental Policy Act, because this precedent that has been set is that these long-term environmental reviews are unnecessary, and if they're in the way of an industry that the administration likes, then they don't need to happen. And ultimately what this is going to do is it's going to green light a lot of other projects to happen without the necessary environmental reviews. This is going to hurt the environment in the long run, and it is going to be really hard to reverse in the future because this was a Supreme Court decision.